Hello guys, this is a conversation between myself, Mabini, and Lynne Smit, the director of Conversation Squared. So we are talking all things from one optimizing their performance in the media layers inside of PR, and we start off by wanting to know why is it important for one to identify their area of speciality before actually going out and approaching media for securing interviews for brands and events. So enjoy.
If you find your niche, if you know that you are going to do education or entrepreneurship or whatever, community policing, whatever it is that you can be a specialist in, then you don't need to get a massive list. You don't need if you're specializing in policing and security things, for example, you don't need to get a list that includes the outdoor magazines and the science magazines and those kind of newspapers and radio stations.
Okay.
So then it makes it much easier for you to then to narrow it down. And how broad are you going? If you're wanting to specialize in things that are happening in Cape Town, then find those radio stations, those whoever it is in that niche. Then all of a sudden you don't need a list of 1,000 people. You need a list of 20 that will know that what you send them is worth having. It's easy at the beginning to feel like I just need to get every bit of business I can, but there's another 1,000 people out there that are also trying to get every bit of business that they can. So if you see if I'm doing something, a certain thing, and then people say, but who's a good person to promote this? People will say, oh, Mabini, that's what he does. He works in that space. So if somebody wants to promote health or science, or a conference, and says, who should I ask? People will say, oh, ask Lynne, because that's what she does.
Okay, I think that makes a lot of sense.
So it takes time to build that up, but it means that you've got a business that's sustainable in the long term.
Oh, yeah.
Because people will come looking for you. You don't have to spend, in the beginning, you obviously have to spend a lot of time finding business, but you want to get to the point where the business comes to you, rather than you having to spend hours looking for business.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. That makes a lot of sense.
That's all about relationships, and it's about finding the space where you want to work, and then building relationships with those places. Pitching stories to them. I mean, but obviously it's better if you've got a client, then the client pays you and you give away the stories to the media for free, like we used to do. Because if you try and get the media to pay you, then they'll pay like R1 a word, and they don't want to pay. They'd rather get it for free. They don't have money. You need to build that trust, and it's an investment. So if you for a short period are giving stories to the media for free, then it's an investment in your future. You've got to invest in the networking. You've got to invest in if you want to choose a platform like LinkedIn, you've got to invest your time into LinkedIn to make it work. You can't go into everything, but you need to be. You probably need to be there, but if you're going to be on LinkedIn, then you need to work LinkedIn. You need to be posting stories. You need to be tagging people. You need to be, you need to spend an hour a day on LinkedIn if you're going to want to work LinkedIn.
Okay.
Same like with Facebook. If your niche, if your audience is on Facebook, if you think you're going to get more business from people that are on Facebook than on LinkedIn, then you need to spend an hour a day on Facebook marketing your business.
And of course connecting with people and
but maybe rather talk about the value than the cost. Like, I can get your product or your service. I can get 5,000 people to hear about your service, or rather. So it's the value. What is? Remember my thing about why should I care? That person that you're trying to get as a client, why should they choose you before anybody else? And what you must talk to their hearts. So it's not about what you want; it's about what they want. They want a return on their investment. They want more sales. They want more clients. So you've got to put yourself in their shoes. and talk. So find what is it that they want. If they want more people to read about, to come to their workshop, then you need to be able to say to them, I can find 1,000 people who are interested in your service, and let them hear about what you're doing. It's up to them then if they register, but at least you've got a chance to speak to them.
Yeah.
When you work for yourself, I'm the worst boss I've ever had. I make myself work harder than anybody ever made me work. So you work for yourself. It's hard work. It's much more difficult than working for a boss and then you get a salary once a month.
Yes.
If you're serious about it, you'll put in all those extra hours, and you've got to be passionate about the work and make it happen, and work on weekends and work at nights if you have to in the beginning, or do whatever it takes to, and be prepared for all the no's. I mean, I'll send proposals out, or somebody will say, won't you even pitch for this? Like, send us a proposal, and you don't hear back, or they say no, and you might still get 20 no's and 1 yes.
Yeah.
But you've got to work through all those no's. And keep going.
Yeah. So bad, eh? Yeah, so bad.
Yeah, it's hard. It's not easy.
There's never a time where you say, okay, I'm a giant here, so I'm not going to be getting rejections and no's and stuff. Okay, that's
So,
good
and
stuff.
my other suggestion is possibly to join SAFRIA, which is the South African Freelancers Association. That's a really great networking space, because there's journalists, there's designers, there's translators, there's all kinds of people in that space. And if you network with them and explain that this is what you do, then if somebody's got too much work, they might hand it to you, or if somebody's writing a story in that area, they might say, oh, Rubini, won't you distribute this for us?
Oh, okay.
And it's a really, there's 520 members, and they're around the country, so it's a really good space to network.
Yeah, it should be.
And there's also jobs that come up. People will post, there's work available for this or that.
Okay, that's okay, Lynne. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay,
Alright, so keep
I'll
in
contact
touch.
you should there be anything. Yeah, I'll keep in touch. Okay, bye, Lynne. Okay.
Okay,
Take
bye,
care.
Rubini.
Bye.
Bye.